Hello, my friends on Facebook. How are you? This is Laleh Hancock, and I just had an amazing conversation with the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, and was just wowed. Things that I already know, things that I didn't know, and it's amazing. We talk a lot about creation. This creation has been a topic of conversation forever. What would you like to create in your life? What would you like to create? What would you like to create? And most of us have misidentified what creation is. Most of us think, oh, I would like to add this to my life and it's magically going to appear. Magically, I'm going to make it all happen. But we don't engage with the molecules, we don't take any action, and then we expect it to actualize. Hi, Mary. So I was talking to Gary, and it was so interesting, like the conversation we were having about right riches. And right riches, if you guys don't know, it's a specialty within Access Consciousness, and it's about sharing with the world different tools, different way of being so that you can add riches into your life. Now, riches includes money, but it's not just money, but it's what are riches? What are things that you enjoy? What are things that bring you life and you would like to have more of it in your life? And what can you be and do to actually receive money for it, receive gifts for it? It's about that continuous adding to your life. And one of the biggest mistakes most people make is that they just want it done for them, meaning they're expecting somebody else to come up with the ideas, someone else to come up with the graphics, someone else to come up with exactly all the action plan, and then just show up. And we don't do that. We don't do that. Right Riches is not about that. Right Riches is about creation. It's about being creators. Creators that actualize. And it just brought so much joy to my life actually listening to Gary. And he said, most people in the world, they just want to take. They want someone else to do it for them, and they just want to jump on board and go along with it. But that's not creating their life. That's not creating riches. That's not adding and contributing to possibilities and expansion. You don't have to do it all. That's the gift of the universe. You don't have to do it by yourself either. But when you don't engage with the molecules, when you don't engage with those molecules, you're actually not contributing your energy. Every one of you guys is unique. Every one of you has different awarenesses that you can perceive, receive, and have and know. And all of that contributes to whatever desires to come alive, to be actualized, to be even greater. So when we come together and we do it together, it isn't that one person has greater awareness than anybody else. No, your energy stimulates, creates, actualizes, and exponentializes it even greater. So when you are saying you want to step up and step out and go for it, like Aubrey's saying right now, it's not just about the words. What action are you going to take to actualize it, to bring it to fruition? And that's the piece that most people miss. They think it in their head. Well, guess what? The minute that you're generating that energy, the minute you're thinking about it, the minute that you are perceiving it, you got those energies, guess what? Yes, that's that first space of engagement. But now it's been engaged and actualized somewhere in the world, somewhere in this world, another time, another space. But for you to actualize it here and the now, it is about you taking action. It is about you asking the question of what would it take to actualize this in this reality the way it desires to be actualized. Where most of us, we already have it figured out. We want to have it look a certain way, talk a certain way, smell a certain way, and if it doesn't show up like that, we give up. We say it didn't happen, it didn't work out, all of that. And you then kill all the energies that you contributed to allow this to create greater. And that's what riches is about. Riches is about you, not just about money. You're an infinite being. You have the ability to have and be and know and perceive and receive everything if you're willing not to have a point of view. So that's what Gary always talks about, is as long as you have a definition, as long as you already want it to look a certain way, we've already stopped that energy. We've stopped that ability for it to create and create greater than our mind in the way we figured it out. It is. So if you're desiring to create, guess what? It's more of like, what do you desire to actualize? What do you desire to actually bring to fruition? And what can you be and do different today to actualize it? And when you have other people playing with you, when you have other ways that, one, the universe is your partner in crime here, guys. The universe is here to contribute to you. But it's like you have to be willing to take away all the definitions you have. So how many definitions do you have of creation? How many definitions do you have of what it's going to look like, when it's going to appear, where it's going to appear, and all the other things that we define it with? Would you be willing to let that go? The creation desires, like business, so much greater than we imagine. Most of us make our businesses like this, where our business actually desires to be like this. So how many definitions do you have of your business? How many definitions do you have of your relationships? How many definitions do you have of your money flows? How many definitions do you have of your bank account? Would you be willing to let all that go? Because that is what's limiting it. But when you allow you to engage with the molecules, when you're actually willing to be a contribution, you're willing to be in the question, you're willing to be in the choice, you're willing to be in the possibilities, when you're willing to be in the contribution, that's when you allow it to be even greater. It's not about having it figured out. And you have to choose. You actually have to choose. You have to step up and choose. You have to be willing to come out of your box, all the boxes of your limitations, all the boxes of everything you've defined, and allow you to actually allow the creation and the consciousness of this creation to actualize the way it desires in this reality. No matter how big you think it is in your head, it's still small. Because for us to think it, we have to limit its possibilities to a teeny tiny little box, instead of breaking free of all the boxes and allowing you to not only just be able to bring more into the world, but to also receive from what it is that you're putting out in the world, to receive from every molecule that desires to contribute to you and everything you desire in life. It was so funny. Last night I went to the movies with my kids and my husband, and we saw Ocean's 8. And it was so funny because it was like, on a Sunday night, my daughter had jury duty this morning and things of that sort. And there was a million excuses we could have come up with, all the things I had to do for my work, all the things that my husband had to do, blah, 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 blah. And we chose on Saturday that no matter what happens, we are choosing to go see this movie as a family. And it was beautiful. We had a blast together. We had ease, we had joy. And as soon as I turned my phone on, I had like 6 people who registered for this private invitation class Maki and I are doing on the 11th of July. If you want to know more, let us know. But it's like when you're willing to take time for you, when you're willing to do the things that bring joy into your heart, that bring life into your body, what you're doing is you're activating the molecules of creation. You're activating the molecules of actualization. You're allowing the elementals of the universe that are here to contribute to different possibilities come alive. but do it from the space of no projection and expectation, no definition of what it's going to look like, because you actually want it to be not just possibilities for you, but be possibilities that's available on the whole planet, that's available to you and everybody else. It is about the oneness that we are. It's not about the lack of, oh, if I don't get it, nobody else will. No, that's when you constrict your creations and you constrict your money flows. But when you're willing to be that generosity of spirit for you and for others, you allow that energy to expand and grow and exponentialize. So what is it that you have been desiring to bring alive, and what consciousness desires to bring it alive with you that is now available? What possibilities are now available for you to choose? So just putting it out there. What if it's not about just taking? What if it's not just about everyone else doing it for you? Your willingness to receive others contributing, including the universe. But what if it is about being you, being connected to the energies, and being willing to take action, and allowing that creation not just to be a thought out there, but to be actualized and come to fruition? So anything you've chosen, all the decisions you've defined, will you now discern and create all of them? And ask, what are the infinite possibilities here I haven't yet considered or chosen? And allow you to have that. I'm excited. This is a very exciting week, actually exciting month for me. Not only do I have my energy pools for creation and actualization happening, but Right Body for You starts this week. We have the Right Body for You CF class. I'm hosting Gary in DC, and we're doing the Leaders of the Future. That's exactly what this is about. You are each leaders of the future. And it doesn't mean just for tomorrow, it's for now and tomorrow. And you have to be willing to step up. Get out of your boxes, step up and be you, be all of you, all your capacities and abilities, and be willing to be statesmen for what our world requires. There's so much crap going on in the world. There's so much anger. There's so much ugliness in this reality, but you have the ability to change it by being you, by bringing more kindness in the world, by willing to create, by willing to bring possibilities into this world. So everywhere you're stopping yourself, please look at that. You're not just stopping it for you, you're stopping it for what's available for all of us to choose, because you make a difference. You being you make a difference beyond you. And I know for so many people that's a hard concept to get, but you actually do. And it's not about just doing, but it's also willing to be. Anything you're willing to be, you can change, you can have, you can create, you can actualize. And I love that. We just finished the Being You Certified Facilitator class that was in Paris. And I am so grateful for Dane. And it's no longer about waiting. It's no longer waiting to let somebody else start it so that you have other people to play with. You have to be willing to be that leader, to be out there. Go be you, no matter if no one follows you. That's the real definition of a leader. And what do you know that nobody else knows? What do you know about bringing things to fruition nobody else knows? And would you be willing now to share it with the world? Would you now be willing to actually put it out there and be visible, be seen? That's what I love about Right Voice. You and your willingness not just to talk it, but to be it, and be this energy that invites other people to other possibilities. Be the voice of your body, the voice of your business, to be the voice of the creations and to actualize them. So are you guys willing? Are you willing to stop standing and waiting for someone else and actually allow you to be that person who's in that front of the line, who's willing to be and do whatever it takes to bring greater possibilities in the world? And if you need help, let us know. I'm here. Let us know. There's so many people that want to contribute to that. Don't be afraid. fear is not real anyway. It's just a distractor. So what do you require? Ask the universe to show you. Ask the elementals to guide you. Guide me, guide me, guide me. And when you're connecting with your body, you're allowing your body to be the contribution. You guys, that's when you actually engage with the elementals. That's when you're allowing the infinite possibilities. It's when you're out of definition, you're out of conclusion, you're out of judgment, and you actually allow the molecules of the universe to be here and actually contribute to whatever it is that you're desiring to actualize. So, thank you all. I adore you. I just having this conversation with Gary, and like perceiving, like, for 28 years he's been trying to do this by himself, because we're all in our freaking boxes. We're wanting to be small instead of being big out there. What if it wasn't about that anymore? What if that didn't even exist in your world anymore? Being small is not even part of my definition. I'm going to invite you to, you choose what works for you. You create and actualize what works for you. But being small and standing in the back of the line doesn't work. Not for me, and not the world that I would like to see available to all of us. But it takes all of us, not just one person, even though one person can make a huge difference. So what contribution can we be to consciousness? What contribution can we be to Gary and Dane? What contribution can we be to all of Access? What contribution can we be to every single molecule in the universe that desires to create greater? Okay? Please explore what that is for you. It's going to look different for each of us. What I'm going to choose is going to be very different than what anyone else chooses. And that's the magic of us each being different. We don't have to look like each other. We don't have to talk like each other. We don't have to choose like the other person does. But what can you be? What can you do different today to actually choose greater? To choose greater possibilities, to choose what will open the doors to greater possibilities on the planet. All right. Adore you guys. Thank you for being here. And what else is possible we've never even considered?